BBL Dweezy. BBL Dweezy. If anyone wants to give money to my BBL, just let me know because I'm actually trying to go to Turkey to get a BBL because there's nothing in the bomb patrocky. Anyway, welcome back to Real and no, that's not it. I'm here to rant and I'm here to rant in style. I'm wearing my spectacles today because it's a very serious video. And I want you guys to envision me as a receptionist because it's a very serious topic I'm about. Childcare prices are skyrocketing.
Who won it? Who won it? Which nigga little goon getting stewed with the onion?
Honestly, guys, I honestly don't understand how these nurseries and all these tinglings are expecting people to pay these invoices. Are you barking mad? Are you barking mad? Firstly, for context, I've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. They're both in school nurseries now. Okay, they're both in school now. My 3-year-old is in nursery, in a school, and my 5-year-old is in reception, okay? So I have, once again, got a lot of experience when it comes to paying nursery flipping fees. Now, firstly, I don't understand why. Let's just start here. I don't understand why they call it free childcare. It's not free. Nothing in this London, nothing in the UK is free. Even when they give you like something free, I don't know, when it comes with like a boots, something you bought from Boots, I'm only getting it for free because I just bought something. It's never, there's always a secret underlying rules and regulations when it comes to free samples of free things, right? So it's not free childcare, it's fun, it's just funded, okay? Anytime that we've received 30 hours or 15 hours or what all the shenanigans even means, is literally, I feel like it's actually taken off 20 pence because I don't understand what the big deal is. When I'm talking about discount people, I want you to shave off. You see how you're quoting me $2,000? I want you to shave off the 1,800, okay? I only want to pay £200 a month. I don't understand what's actually going on. It's as if they don't want parents to work. And it's kind of like you're being rewarded for not deciding to work. How is a couple who earns, let's say you earn 2K each a month, right? And your bill is 2K just to put your child into nursery. How are you supposed to pay for your mortgage, pay for a food shop that's constantly going up? Like, I completely understand that we're in a recession, yada, 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 cost of living, yada, yada, yada. However, it's extortionate. Like, I felt like when the boys were in nursery, it was constantly like every April, it was always like, oh, the fees are being increased. The fees are being increased. And there's me thinking, okay, maybe a tenner, you know? But you're jumping from let's say, £100 a day, you're now saying £200. You've doubled the price of the day rate. Like, that is absolutely insane. Like, and basically you're saying, I don't care where you have to find it, it has to be paid every month. Like, how can a bill for a nursery be 2K? Like, £2,000 is more than some people's mortgages, and you're paying just so that you can work. And you're basically working to pay that invoice, to pay. Like, I actually said to Lloyd all the time, right? Payday doesn't feel like payday anymore. It feels like, who do I need to payday? Like, what bills do I need to pay? What we need to spend money on food. There's always something that we need to pay for. And don't get me wrong, guys. I feel so blessed that we even have jobs. I'm blessed that we have jobs. I'm blessed that we have the roof over our head. I'm blessed that we have money to stress over, I guess. But at the same time, this is not the life I envisioned. Like, adulting is very, very stinky. It smells rotten. And it's just an absolute joke. Anyway, so yeah, for context, my boys went to a private nursery. So their nursery ran through half term, okay? So when schools were on half term, my boys were still going to nursery. Thank God. Because honestly, I was losing my mind. Yeah. When it was like half term, I was thinking, thank God that them two are still... And I actually think there was actually a point where they weren't even both in that nursery because we couldn't afford it. Like, I'm sure that my youngest did 2 days and then he went up to 3 days when my oldest left to go to reception. Like, it was like we were constantly having to do like flipping Tetris to figure out who's going to be in the nursery this time because we can only afford to pay for one flipping child. And then you have a child home, because you can't afford to put your other child in nursery full time. So they're home for 2 days, and everyone's losing their hairlines. Everyone, by the end of the month, everybody's hairlines back here, because we're all losing our minds because we've all been on top of each other when we're not supposed to be. Like, nursery to me is such a necessity, right? Because I feel like the kids don't learn how to share, how to wait their turn, also how to try new foods and stuff like that, unless they're around other children. Obviously, there's so many other things like that they learn in nursery, but those are like the key things that I feel like the boys really did excel in. Like, even their speech, just being around other children, learning to be in an atmosphere where there's loads of noise, and do you know what I mean? And I think that it's very unfair that you're kind of made to feel like they don't need to go to nursery because I can't afford it, kind of thing. Like, and a lot of the time it's like, I enjoy working. I enjoy having that thing. I enjoy having my own thing to do. Lloyd enjoys having his own thing to do. And it's like, to me, it's not healthy for us to always be together. It's not healthy for you to be developing as a toddler and I'm just your only like beck and call. You know what I mean? Like, because to me, it got to a point where with the boys, there's only so much that I can give you and show you. Like, we've been to every same play in the flipping area. Do you know what I mean? We've been to every park to the point where we know like the secret back ways of the park. Like, we know everything. If there's like a scaffolding up, we know that that's been up since August. And it's crazy. And I think it's very much like, when it comes to like staying plays and everything, you're the one who has to take them. And the thing is, I don't want to be there. I want them to be able to go and play with children their age, be around other adults, be around other children, and just do like go on school trips and do painting and just have an absolute mahogany when it comes to mess and just craziness and but just not being meows. I mean, not being involved. And I think my connection with the boys grew even more, was even greater when they went in nursery and when we had that time to kind of like play together, and it really does like shape who they are as little people. So yeah, so they went through like term time as well. Their nursery was open from 8 to 6, so you could drop them from 8 to 6. And what else? They provided like meals for them, so all of that was in the price. But I'm not being funny or nothing. We're not doing Gordon Ramsay's 4-course meals every day, like with chandeliers hanging from the ceilings. Like, I always used to think, like when I picked up my son, I always used to be like, why does he look like he's been dragged from one area of the nursery to the other area of the nursery? Every piece of mucus is on his top lip. Everything is an absolute mess. Like, I understand that they've got loads of kids to look after and all of that, and whatever. But I'm not being funny, but for the price that we're paying, they should come out even fully creamed. Like, their face should be shiny and moisturized. They should even come out with manicures and pedicures, because honestly, for that price, are you joking? Also, may I add, is when I feel like when your child starts nursery, right, they spend I feel like when your children start nursery, they spend the first couple of weeks or month at home because they've caught every lurgy going. Every lurgy that you wouldn't even know existed. White paint, solosicus, flipping big toe synodrome. They've got every single flipping illness going because they're in the dirt. They're around all other kids that literally wipe their snot into their hairlines. And you are actually spending money. You are paying for that month. And I think another thing is that one advice I would give to any parents that want to put their children into childcare, do not put them in Mondays. Don't put them in on a Monday, because Mondays are usually bank holidays, sweetheart, and you're there paying for the Monday, okay? And your child is actually at home with you. So don't pay for a Monday. Send that child for as long as you can, because you need to get your money's worth, obviously. Obviously, when it comes to like filtering them in and like obviously it takes a while, and some children just do not enjoy nursery. Some children prefer to kind of be in like forest school or homeschooled or whatever the case is. Like, I completely get it. But I also think not to be kind of like embarrassed to be like with the boys when they were potty training. Like, obviously we was doing it at home, but they spent majority of their time at nursery. So I would send their pants and everything, and not their potty because, you know, health and safety, but I would send their pants, change of clothes, all that, and I'm like, train him. Because I'm paying you. Firstly, I'm paying you. ridiculous money. So that this should be included. Like to me, I was adding on add-ons. I was adding if the boys were girls, I'd be like, can you also plait her hair? Because because honestly, do it all. Do it all. So, and I think the boys really excelled with their potty training because of nursery, because they saw their peers go into the toilet and was like, I want to be a big boy, I want to get to the toilet too. So they would go, and I feel like their key workers had so much patience. Like the boys' nursery was so good, and I just feel so sad that like I don't have any more kids for them to go there. Not that I would want to be having to pay for that price, but that it was such a good nursery that it was sad when they both kind of like left, and I was like, wow, that's actually a whole end of an era. It's crazy. Anyway, so that's another piece of advice. Like if you're sending your child to nursery and you're trying to get them to potty train, send the pants and the clothes, and obviously ask their key workers if it's okay, like, because it's better to kind of do it while they're at nursery rather than trying to train them while they're in school. Because when it hits the reception, like a lot of schools, even nursery, like even my son's in nursery and he's potty trained, and there's some other kids that aren't potty trained, and I just think that like when it comes to put them in a school nursery, it's just easier to train them either at home or when they're actually in a public or private nursery, because school nurseries are just different. Like they're in school uniform and it's just a bit more like academically focused, you know? I honestly feel like, I said this like earlier, but I feel like I felt like it was really, really unfair that you are also sharing a nursery with other parents that don't work and they're basically getting the childcare for free. I honestly, that makes no sense. The parents that need it the most are the parents that go to work, not the parents that sit in the cafe and have a freaking fry up and a coffee. Like, I'm not being funny or nothing, but the parents who work need the most help. So why is it that you're kind of being scrutinized for the fact that you actually want to work and you actually want to be a civil person of society, or whatever it's called? I just don't understand what's going on. I actually don't understand. And I feel like more videos need to be put out like this, where people are aware of how much nursery fees are, because it's an absolute joke. I actually went through my emails to check how much we were being invoiced for certain days and all of that. I mean, I could only find a few because I'm sure I threw all of them in the bin because I didn't want to see it, okay? So there was a point where my youngest was doing 2 days. He was doing Tuesday and Wednesday, and with like his 3 hours and all these like summer discount, and he had some other discounts on there, we were having to pay £515 for 2 days. For 2 days. For 2 days. And he was never going, like I would never drop him from 8 and pick him up at 6. Like I'd usually drop him like 9:30 and then pick him up at 5, just to get him home for dinner and all of that kind of stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, there were times where he was there till 6, but £515 just for 2 days. And that's with all the discount applied. Do you know what I mean? That's still insane. That's like $250 a day. That's absolutely insane with discount. And then I saw that there was a point where he was doing 3 days. Or was he doing 4 days? I think he was doing 4 days. It went up to 4 days. Did it go up to? No, it went up to 3 days, guys. It went up to 3 days. All right. So it went up to 3 days, and this is when the fees went up. Okay, and they were quoting us 1,300 for 3 days. For 3 days, and this is obviously with the discount applied. Can you actually imagine? And I was literally like, I can't afford it. He's gonna have to leave. So we took him out and put him in a school nursery, and it was completely free. And the reason it was completely free is because if you are eligible for 30 hours, the 30 hours cover the hours that he's in the school nursery. So that's another thing. If your child is 3 and you're getting to a point where you're like, I can't afford it, take that child out of the public nursery that you're paying for and put them in a school nursery. It will be completely free if you are eligible for 30 hours. Now, I honestly I think it's absolutely insane how you're expected to pay such expensive invoices, right? On top of food shopping, on top of flipping, it's summer and we apparently want to take the kids on holiday. Like, who's paying for all of this? Is the money coming out of my ears or my belly button? Like, I actually don't understand what is going on in this world. And it just makes not wanting to be in London or the UK fun. Like, you just think, I'm sure if I go to like Dubai or something, I can get a nanny for like that price. who will live in my house and flipping cook and do all these things. Like, I'm sure there are countries that provide a village for way cheaper than this. This is not even a village. This is not even people that you can lean on the weekend or whatever. Like, and the thing that makes it worse is that if your kid is sick, you're paying for that regardless. Like, every month is the same. Even if you say like, oh, they're not coming in for 2 days, brethren, you better still pay that invoice. It's shocking. Honestly, if you're willing to bring a child into this world, please take into consideration how expensive childcare is. If you don't have kind of like grandparents and stuff that are retired or don't work or that your child can go to, like, it's actually expensive. It's expensive, and it's absolutely insane. So anyone who has a village of people who they can kind of lean on and like don't have to pay extortionate prices to, be so thankful. Be so thankful for them, because listen, would you rather pay someone $2,000, or would you rather just have to send your child with like a fish pie to like an auntie's house or an uncle's house or a cousin's house or something? Like which one would you prefer? Anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely mahogany, and I just wanted to show you my big toe. Okay, night, bye.